Live Sports.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
Here's Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved. Woohoo!
With its diamond weave texture, Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with few
Stories.
The Robbie Revolution. Here in Larry Birdland, whatever you want to call it, it's in full effect in Terre Haute, Indiana, and points beyond. Tonight in the Missouri Valley Conference, Robbie Avila and the first place Indiana State Sycamores defend their home floor against the hottest team in the Valley. The Bradley Braves come into this game having won 9 straight. Here's a look at the standings in the Valley. Tonight marking the halfway point of the schedule, and 5 of the 12 teams are over 500 in the league. The Sycamores in first place at 8-1. The Braves can move into a tie with a win. Northern Iowa and Drake in another big one going on right now. Robbie Avila, it's his night. Fans getting free rec specs and a t-shirt as they celebrate one of the stars of this league.
Clay, he is special. He's the bell cow for Josh Schertz's recruiting class. He can score it, he can pass it, he can make threes. He's going to be defended by the great length of Darius Hannah. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. Hannah's a rim runner. Can disrupt with his length at the defensive end.
Clay Matvick, Kevin Lehman here in Terre Haute. The Sycamores in powder blue. They beat Bradley 85-77 in Peoria last month. We'll see what happens this time in front of a sellout crowd. Duke Dean rises up for the first shot of the game for Bradley. And Ryan Conwell, the South Florida transfer, quickly gets it ahead. Steve Hoeneke, Scott Tierney, and Greg Gerritsen are officiating crew. And there's an Indiana State turnover. They had 17 of those the first time these two teams met.
Bradley length is a problem at the rim. And they can create some offense with their defense. That time, Julian Larry too deep, nowhere to go. But that's what Indiana State wants to do. They like to get to the rim and make decisions to score it or kick it out.
Almar Atlason, 6'8" freshman, 3-point specialist from Iceland, and #1 for Bradley, has found himself in the starting lineup in recent weeks. They go inside to Hannah. Now here is Atlason with 5 on the shot clock. And he goes inside. He not only shoots the 3, Kev, but he can do that.
Big hoop for the freshman. They moved in the starting lineup. That started that 9-0 winning run for Bradley as they shook up their lineup.
Avila draws iron, but there's the former Brave, Jason Kent, who transferred in from Bradley, getting the first points for the Sycamores. As you look at the Bradley starting 5, Dean, Connor Hickman, Atlason, Hannah, and Leons. You'll remember Connor Hickman got hurt in the last meeting with Indiana State. And now here is what the Sycamores bring to the floor to start. Larry, Conwell, Swope, Kent, and Avila all averaging in double figures. And we've got our first foul.
Swope in transition. The spin move gets to the rim. And now a chance at the free throw line. You have to stop Indiana State in transition. They will clear the side and attack. Swope at the free throw line.
First foul on Malavi Leons, the 6'9" Dutchman. As Swope misses the free throw, he's got another one coming. Of course, Swope coming off a career high 30 points at UIC the other night.
Knocked in a bunch of threes in that game, and that was a close call for the Sycamores. UIC tie game with 37 seconds left in that one.
So Indiana State has its first lead. Here's Hickman.
Indiana State going to the top of all the screens, trying to stay attached.
Hannah directing traffic.
Avila's going to hang in the middle.
Dean, another jump shot, and he's missed from there twice now.
He's got some open looks as he's turned the corner. And the defenders got hung up on the screen. Swope's been on Dean. There's a mismatch problem.
Conwell out of control, lost it. Hickman. Good patience. Leon's beautiful rebound and stick back.
Leon's working the baseline, as we saw Kent do for the Sycamores on his putback.
Leon's coming up back-to-back 17-point games against Belmont and Murray State. And Bradley's ahead by a point. Swope to the corner for Larry. Yes!
Penetration, get to the paint, make a decision and kick it out. Julian Larry, one of the most improved shooters in the Valley.
Hickman off balance.
Took it right at Avila. You have to attack number 21, the big man in the powder blue wearing the goggles. Make him defend.
Hickman's got a ton of family here. He grew up just down the road in Bloomington. Avila got free and scores. First points for Robbie Avila on his day.
Excellent in the pick and roll. His ability to create the target hand and finish.
They're going to let Dean shoot that until he proves he can make one, Kevin.
Well, that drop coverage, he's going to have that mid-range jumper. He's had two good looks. Misfired them both.
Step back doesn't go for Swope as this game has got a hectic pace.
This is the pace that the Sycamores want. A Bradley team that's been scoring at a high rate during this big winning streak.
Leon's tough turnaround over the defense of Jason Kent.
They will isolate Leon's and let him get to the paint, use his length to finish.
Avila got triple teamed. Kent airballs a three from the corner.
When Bradley got in that game, back in the game, the second half in their first meeting, they were able to run and push the tempo.
Hickman, beautiful drive, but he can't finish. Good transition defense by Bradley.
Yeah, excellent, but then they're going to run it through Avila when they come back to the half court.
In and out for Conwell. Conwell kind of struggled at UIC the other night. Dean drives, baseline jumper, Hannah. That's strong.
A lot of action, but a lot of missed fires by both these teams.
Larry taking it to Leon, sealed off.
Hannah doing an excellent job on Avila on the perimeter. He's trying to stay attached.
Dean guarding Swope. Thought about the step back. And shot, again, a misfire. Boy, both of these teams, you know, it's about conditioning right now because there's a frantic pace here early.
Fast pace, great defense.
And now we get a whistle and a foul. That's going to go on Ryan Conwell. What a start here in Terre Haute. Big one in the Missouri Valley, tied at 8.
It's 10 feet. One shot makes you a soup for 24 hours.
Waiting for the break of day. Getting up to splash my face. Wanting just to stay away. Should I try to do some more?
The 2024 Pro Bowl games. This year's stars show off their best moves in the Skill Show. Plus, the AFC and NFC meet again in flag football. Touchdown. Skill Show February 1st on ESPN. Flag football and more skills February 4th on ESPN and ABC.
$5 duo at Burger King. Double up flavors when hunger dings. Whopper Jr. and Royal Crispy Wraps for a lunch, dinner, or late night snack. BK, have it your way.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend is right here in Toronto, home of the CN Tower. standing taller than these guys in net.
Unbelievable. Spectacular save.
With cuisine tastier than moves like these.
It's not real!
If you show your best this weekend, you might end up here.
That's hockey, baby!
So welcome to Toronto.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend, February 2nd and 3rd on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
Goggles for everybody at the door coming into the Hulman Center here in Terre Haute. Bradley and Indiana State, two of the teams vying for supremacy in the Missouri Valley Conference. Welcome everybody to Terre Haute. Alongside Kevin Lehman, I'm Clay Matvick. Rec specs for everybody here in the building. It's Robbie Avila night, and why not? One of the great players in the Missouri Valley Conference, having a great year. He has Indiana State in first place.
I got my specs. Clay, where are yours at?
I can't read without
I see a
these.
Massive NIL deal coming here for Robbie.
You're probably right.
Rec specs.
Robbie Avila has had a great year, coming off his 4th double-double for the Sycamores.
He is the bell cow of Josh Schertz's recruiting class. Why? He can score inside, he can score outside, excellent passer, and he understands the game. You cannot speed him up. He is the hub of the Josh Schertz offense, leads All Centers America in assists.
Robbie Avila, 26 points, 11 rebounds at UIC the other night. Last 3 games, 23 points. He's shooting 50% from 3 and over 9 rebounds per game. But they've got to face one of the hottest teams, not only in this conference, but in the country right now. Bradley at 7-2 in the league, winners of 9 straight overall. Meanwhile, Drake is at home tonight against Northern Iowa. So the top 4 teams in the Missouri Valley Conference, Kevin Lehman, are playing each other tonight.
This is a huge game. Is Indiana State going to be able to create some separation from the rest of the pack? Can Bradley stay in touch and get a tie for first with the win? And you've got that battle at the Knapp Center between the Panthers of Northern Iowa and the Bulldogs of Drake.
Hickman misses from 3, and Bradley will get a fresh shot clock. Tied at 8. On to a great start in this one between these two Valley heavyweights. Duke Dean's been a little cold from the field to start. They get it back on the perimeter.
Great matchup with Swope on Dean.
This is Christian Davis with 3 on the shot clock. Looking for help, running out of time. Shot clock violation.
We talk all the time about Indiana State's offense. Their defense has been sensational to start this game.
Brian Wardle, in his 9th year at Bradley, last year's Missouri Valley Coach of the Year, led them to the regular season conference title. And he knows how hard it is to come into this place and get a victory, especially with how well this Indiana State offense has been playing as of late, averaging 86 points per game, by far the best in the Valley.
He's done a great job with his team at that 5-game losing streak.
Nice pass from Conwell to Jason Kent, the former Bradley Brave.
Kent working the baseline, scoring it, and offensive rebounds.
That is Kyle Thomas, who comes up empty for Bradley. Here's Conwell for 3. The lefty hits it and 1. Chance at a 4-point play for the Sycamores.
There's the pitch out. Late recovery. Sidestep. Drains it. Chance for a 4-point play. That starts with the penetration of Julian Larry.
So Ryan Conwell, a 42% 3-point shooter, who struggled on Wednesday at UIC, but had been playing very well, Kevin, before that.
Can really score. He was 1 for 6 against the Flames of UIC. You know he's not going to have back-to-back poor shooting games. Conwell, the transfer from South Florida, has been dynamite for the Sycamore team.
Last year, the Sycamores lost 2 close games to Bradley. Now a chance to return the favor and sweep the Braves, leading 14-8. 12.5 to go first half. Davis gets it down to Hanna. The big man with the left hand. Strong. Leon's got the rebound, but a whistle and a foul before that. As you look at Josh Schertz, who led the Sycamores to the program's best season in almost a decade last year, Kevin. He was runner-up for Valley Coach of the Year to Wardle. He has a better team this year, and he'll tell you that.
Oh, no question. They can score from all positions. Came in from the Division II ranks, where he is 4-time National Coach of the Year.
And now another foul on the floor that's going to go against Julian Larry. The crowd here at the Hulman Center not liking it.
That's what Bradley does. They have that great length. They wear you down on the offensive glass. Brian Wardle's staple. They just keep attacking the rim.
Here's Hanna again, battling Xavier Bledson. Couple of heavyweights. And how about that play? Backing him down, Darius Hanna.
Has a height advantage. Hanna, let's keep going to him if he's guarded by Bledson.
Oh, nice cut. Swope can't finish at the rim. And now Bradley in transition. Birch kept it alive somehow. Davis. Beautiful layup by number 5.
They started bringing Davis off the bench. That's when they started the 9-game winning streak. They put the freshman Atlason in the lineup. Davis has been outstanding coming off the bench.
We've got a foul and a timeout. Indiana State leading by 2. We're going to talk about the Hickman factor for the red-hot Bradley Braves when we come back to Terre Haute.
I'm changing it up. It's a new era now. I be changing it up.
I avoided credit cards most of my life, but when I started to create a streaming platform for musicians like me, I knew it was important to build my credit to set my business up right. I heard about the Chime Credit Builder card and I signed up right away. I didn't have to worry about fees, interest, or credit checks. Within a month, my score went up. Now it's up over 100 points. I feel set up for success, and so is my business. I tell everybody about the Chime Credit Builder card. Here we go. Check it out at chime.com.
Bold, juicy, beefy, grilled. There's a lot of ways to describe the flame-grilled flavor of Burger King. But one thing's for certain, it's not the same without the flame.
PGA Tour live on ESPN+. From the Pacific to the playoffs, every tournament starts on ESPN+. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. PGA Tour live on ESPN+.
Pure Leaf is crafted in a variety of flavors that'll make you say, ah. Enjoy juicy peach, zesty lemon, or ripe raspberry without any artificial flavors. Pure Leaf iced tea, real variety.
15 points against the Sycamores in December. Came in the second half before he twisted an ankle. Nearly led the Braves to a comeback win.
They were down big in the second half, made a big run, taking up ground on the Sycamores. And then he goes down on this play. It comes down on his ankle twisted, and that took the air out of Carver Arena. Now the Braves in their comeback bid.
Yeah, they trailed by 19 in the second half, ended up losing by 8. Hickman was out for a few games after that. You can see what they've done with him. You can see that they were 1-3 without him. I mean, he's an X factor.
No question. And you got to give a lot of creds to Eddie Pappas, the strength coach, and Tyler Krogh, the trainer, who gave him the confidence to come back. And he came back red hot shooting the basketball. I had his game at Valpo. First full game he played, 5 for 5 to start that game from the three-point land. he has been on fire ever since, and so have the Braves.
Indiana State with a 2-point lead. 11:21 to go here in the first half. Conwell is going to come back into the game as Julian Larry, the veteran guard, sits down. Larry having his best year as a Sycamore, and you know there are a few guys that you can look to for Indiana State, Kevin. You can say, you know, they're having the best year of their career.
They have great balance, and then the seamless transition of Swope and Conwell come to this program.
Bledson misses from outside.
They are a man down now, the Indiana State Sycamores tonight, with Jake Wolf comes off the bench, won't be playing with it because of an ankle injury.
Hickman trying to feed it inside, and that's going to be a turnover for the Braves. Well, two of the top teams in the SEC square off in our ESPN Sunday afternoon women's basketball showcase tomorrow. Tennessee taking on Ole Miss at the Pavilion. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern. That's tomorrow on ESPN. Clay Matvick, Kevin Lehman battle for first place here in the Missouri Valley Conference. At the halfway point of the league, and there's good defense by Bradley again.
Length at the rim. Bradley will challenge you in the paint.
Pull-up doesn't go for Demarion Birch. Hannah able to keep it alive.
No double team. He's been going one-on-one, using his height on Bledson.
That's to stay on this end with Bradley with 10 on the shot clock.
Swope thought he had a free rein there. The freshman Atlason comes up, able to redirect it, and Bradley will help start their fast break.
Yeah, Atlason isn't even one of the SWAT team guys. It's
yes.
Leons and Hannah, the two 6'9" forwards, but it's the 6'8" Atlason who got that SWAT.
Well, Atlason had to really grow in his role when Hickman went down with the injury.
Hannah didn't get it off. That's the second shot clock violation for Bradley in this half.
Indiana State's defense has been outstanding to start this game. Now, they've given up some second chance opportunities. Bradley having a tough time finding open shots.
Indiana State shooting 38% from the field. That will help the percentage as Conwell gets in deep.
They got Bledson in the high post. Avila on the wing. Bledson, an outstanding passer.
Well, Atlason, the 6'8" freshman from Iceland, hits his first three, and that's what he does.
That's why they put him in the lineup, to help stretch defenses. Bringing Christian Davis off the bench for more experience.
He could end up setting the Bradley record for three-point percentage by a freshman as Swope gets his first field goal of the game.
That's why he's so hard to guard, Clay. Swope, he has that three that you got to respect. Great change of direction to get to the rim.
Dean falling away, yes. Boy, Duke Dean needed to see one go down, Kevin.
And his confidence in the last few games have been tremendous. He had to grow as a player when Hickman went down with the injury. Duke Dean, you're seeing the great results of it now. This is a great matchup. Swope on Duke Dean and vice versa. Duke Dean on Isaiah Swope.
So that foul is on Dean, his first. He started 0 for 4 from the field. But the Troy transfer, it's his first basket. Bradley within one.
He's coming off a game against Belmont 2 games ago where Duke Dean hit 7 of 10 triples, 25 points. He can rack them up in a hurry, and so can number 2 in the powder blue, Isaiah Swope.
Here's Robbie Avila. Really hasn't gotten into a rhythm yet. Extra pass there. Ends up at the hands of Larry off the deflection. Here's Kent for 3. And Leons will pluck the rebound.
Kyle Thomas in the game for the Bradley Braves.
Atlason, baseline mid-range jumper doesn't go, and it's going to belong to Indiana State. Indiana State back home after a great road trip, Kevin. Wins at Murray State and UIC, and neither win came easy for them.
That's life in the Valley. Going on the road is tough. You got to get wins, and now Kyle Thomas going to have to go up against Avila. They worked on this. Stay on your feet. Use your length when the goggles catches it.
Conwell tried to jam it down. Comes all the way out to Swope. Empty possession for the Sycamores. Avila just 1 of 2 from the field. He hasn't had the ball in his hands much here in the half.
Well, Bradley's doing a great job with their length, staying on the floor, guarding Robbie Avila.
Yeah, Avila poked that one away from Thomas. And now Swope in transition, fouled from behind. What a pace to this game on Robbie Avila night here at Indiana State. The Sycamores have a 1-point lead.
Of course it's bigger. That's why we're making such a big deal out of it, because it is bigger.
I loved everything that I heard about Chime. I just didn't know how it would work without having a physical branch to go into. But Chime has more than 60,000 fee-free ATMs, so whenever I need cash out, I just open up the Chime app and click ATM app. I love the fact that I can go into any Walgreens and deposit cash for free. The best thing about Chime is being paid up to 2 days early. As the budgeter in the family, I want to know where our money is, how much is being spent, and knowing those numbers is really important. Join me on Chime at chime.com.
$5 duo at Burger King. Double up flavors when hunger dings. Whopper Jr. and Royal Crispy Wraps for lunch, dinner, dinner, or late night snack. BK, have it your way.
The competition's never been better.
I would never let a woman do that.
The stars have never been brighter.
Hayden Todd, 3,000 career points. Come on, Cameron Brink. Deja Kelly.
Oh, that was pretty.
Will host LSU in the SEC at Coleman Coliseum. The Tide coming off a top 25 upset, I should say, of Auburn on Wednesday night. So we'll see if they can keep that going. 8 Eastern on ESPN. Robbie Avila, just 2 points tonight here on Robbie Avila night in Terre Haute. Bradley's doing a good job on him.
But he's only got 2 shots up. They're using their length. First it was Darius Hannah, then they brought in Kyle Thomas. Both these guys are 6'10", 6'11", but their wingspans are over 7 foot. When they're guarding Robbie Avila, they're keeping their feet on the floor, not reacting to any of those head fakes, those old man rec league, church league game fakes. Staying put, making him play and score over the top.
Isaiah Swope at the line for Indiana State. He's got 2 shots. Avila had 22 points the last time these two teams got together in Peoria. And he's coming off a 26-point, 11-rebound game at UIC, his 4th double-double of the year.
Brian Worrell's staff has done a great job of telling their team how to defend Robbie Avila inside and on the perimeter.
We've seen him have slow starts before, though, Kevin, and then come alive in the second half.
Well, they have a high-powered offense. You have to take away Indiana State's transition game, which Bradley has done.
Avila just takes it away from Darius Hannah. And that's going to be a foul on Hannah. Boy, how quickly that turned on Hannah.
Well, we keep talking about Robbie Avila's offense. Look at this defensive move. Excellent hands.
Well, you talk to Josh Schertz, and he'll tell you how smart of a ball player Robbie is. His high basketball IQ.
Off the charts. And when you watch him play, his ability to set up his teammates, to read the defense, to create switches. There's the switch right now. Hickman's on him inside. See if they can post up. Get Robbie Avila a touch.
There's the veteran glue guy, Xavier Bledson, driving, but he ran to the hoop and called for the travel.
Now they're forced to play Bledson and Avila a little bit more together today because, as we mentioned, Wolf not playing. Jake Wolf out with an ankle injury. It's a short bench for the Sycamores.
Third turnover for Indiana State. Here's Duke Dean, started 0 for 4 from the field. He'll miss that one. Kent quickly gets it to Conwell.
They're going to the top of all screens for Duke Dean, making him get in the paint and score with the size inside of the Sycamores. Been great success thus far in this game. There it is inside. They got Hickman on the switch.
Atlason got there a little late, but how about Kent on the backside to clean it up for Indiana State?
One of the most improved players in the Valley. The Bradley transfer, outstanding on the window.
He had a double-double against Bradley, his former team in December. He's coming off a double-double at UIC. 10 points, 11 rebounds. He's got 4 here early. Hannah. And Kent with another rebound. Sycamores by 4.
Well, they've taken away Dean and Hickman on the perimeter.
Larry, he's so good getting to the rim, but he lost it out of bounds.
Jason Kent, 6 double-doubles. Watch him come in from the weak side. He excels on the offensive glass. Started his career at Bradley with the Braves, a high school teammate of Robbie Avila.
Jason Kent already has 8 rebounds in this game. (21-17) Bradley.
Julian Larry's been outstanding his defense on Hickman.
Leons. Here comes Indiana State with the 4-point lead. Julian Larry, all Missouri Valley defensive team last year. Running the point, he'll get it to Conwell, the big pickup out of the transfer portal, and he gets it to go.
He strikes it right down Main Street on Birch. Hangs and kisses it off the window.
Hickman drives. Well defended again by Avila, but it's going to belong to Bradley with 4:59 to go.
Well, Conwell come off a bad game at UIC. They love to attack right down the pipe and get to the rim. Conwell has the strength to finish at the rim. They let him shoot the mid-range jumper, and he's outstanding from beyond the arc.
Conwell leading everybody with 8 points so far here in the half. Leon's able to keep this one alive. Atlason, it's been good here in the half. Tipped out for Dean, long range shot. Yes, Duke Dean with his first 3.
He needed that one. Offense by accident. That one got kicked out on a scrambled defense on the offensive rebound. Dean's been locked up here in their half-court offense, and so is Hickman. The bigs are going to have to start scoring for the Braves.
Dean made 7 threes twice during this 9-game winning streak that Bradley is currently on.
Well, Swope is hooked onto him now, not giving it any room.
Atlason ties it up with an outside shot.
That's what the Braves are going to need. Someone other than Hickman and Dean are going to have to step up and hit shots.
Atlason still learning how to defend, but there's no doubt he can score. 4 minutes to go in the half. What a half it's been. Larry, beautiful spin, got it and one.
Well, Larry got,
foul was on Atlason.
Larry got the switch he wanted. High ball screen. Julian Larry gets the matchup he wants. Watch the spin move. Great concentration and finish by Julian Larry.
Who says you can't go for bold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
Waiting till Friday to get paid is tricky. I'm a musician and a music teacher, and I play gigs. Sometimes I have to travel and rent out equipment before the weekend, or else I have to cancel. Then I heard about Chime. Now I get paid 2 days early, no fees. Early payday guarantees that I can make it to any gig, any rehearsal, anytime. it's easier for me to do what I was put on the planet to do, and that's music. Chime really makes it easier for me to live my dreams. Join me at chime.com.
Bold, juicy, beefy, grilled. There's a lot of ways to describe the flame-grilled flavor of Burger King. But one thing's for certain, it's not the same without the flame.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
NHL All-Star Weekend on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
Top leagues and tournaments. Best stories in sports. On ESPN+.
Back here in Birdland, Terre Haute, Indiana, there's Larry Legend. And he had so many great moments over his career, but who can forget 1988, winning his third straight NBA three-point contest. And he didn't even have to take off his warm-up to get it done. I mean, how cool was that guy?
This is the one where in locker room he says, who's finishing second? Because I'm winning it today.
Coming up at 8:30 Eastern over on ABC, Lakers and the Warriors. Of course, Steph taking on LeBron. Coverage begins with the Countdown Crew at 8 Eastern. So, obviously, you know, I don't even know if they called it mid-major basketball back then when Larry was here, but they certainly did when Steph Curry was at Davidson. So you compare the two mid-major stars or mid-major monsters as we have slugged this, and pretty comparable.
NBA MVPs. Birdman with 3, Steph with 2. But Curry's got him on the titles, 4-3.
Different Larry at the free throw line right now. It's Julian Larry hitting the foul shot to make it 26-23.
He is the one holdover from Greg Lansing era here. His game has improved dramatically. Was a defender, all defensive team, and now a great scorer and pushed the tempo for the Trees.
Atlason's going to get to the line here. Yeah, Julian Larry, first time in his career averaging in double figures. And that's the thing about Indiana State. All 5 starters are averaging double digits. I mean, on any given night, one of their starters can go off.
And their numbers are eye-popping. Julian Larry's shooting 52% from 3. Over 50% from 2. I talked to him today. He already got in this morning early and put up 100 threes on game day.
How about Atlason? Really having a really good first half. He's already in double figures with 10. And he averages 5. That one's kicked with 3:39 to go here in the first half.
There's so much attention to keeping Dean and Hickman from getting looks. Atlason is finding the cracks in the Sycamores defense.
We've only had 2 total bench points in this game. All the scoring has been getting done by the starters. Kent is mugged going up.
Again, Clay, that is the length at the rim of the Bradley Braves. They will challenge you every time you go in there.
Wow.
Leon's.
And that was clean.
Yep.
No foul.
Top shot blocker in the Valley. Defensive Player of the Year. Elevate Leon's number 14. Now he's on Robbie Avila. The switch. There's the post up.
Conwell needs help. 2 on the shot clock. Swope throws up a prayer.
Well, Avila got the switch he wanted, but they didn't recognize it. He got Birch on him in the block.
Indiana State's got fouls to give. Sycamores at the line on the next Bradley foul. Leon's in the lane. Larry thought he had a clean strip, but he's going to be called for the personal.
Came in from the blind side as Leon's does the spin move, and they know Leon's like to spin on this move. They ISO him in the middle. Oh, lot of leather on that call.
And that's the third on Julian Larry. So he's likely going to have to sit down for the last couple of minutes of this half. They're keeping him in.
Keeping him in. They trust their upperclassmen.
Well, we've just been told they gave the foul to Avila. So that's a big break for Indiana State. First on Avila. So Larry with 2. Five on the shot clock. Dean, step back 3. They're going to say a long 2 for Duke Dean.
Great quickness and release. Kent just caught an edge of the screen by Hannah. It gave Dean enough room to rise up. He's going to have that mid-range jumper all day because the way the Sycamores are defending.
Swope will go back to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
We're watching 2 little guys with big tickers go at it. Kent get caught behind. Dean with the great pull-up. Splashes that through, and then you've got to take away Swope's 3-point shot. When you do, he gets to the rim.
Is Isaiah Swope your favorite for newcomer of the year in this league?
No question. Preseason voting, I put him as newcomer of the year. Most people said, who is this guy? He's the dude that lit up Indiana State last year when they played Southern Indiana.
Well, Indiana State leading the Valley in attempts and percentage at the foul line, 77% as a team. They're just 4 of 7, though, here in the first half.
When Swope played against Indiana State last year, he was wearing the colors of Southern Indiana. He had 8 triples against the Sycamores.
And this one's going to go back to the Sycamores.
Hickman is having a tough day at the office. Definitely, as we talked to Josh Schertz, that was going to be a focus of their defense. He is the heart and soul of this Bradley team.
He's averaging 17 points per game in Valley play. He has been held to just 2, 1 of 6 shooting here in the first half.
He's also known as a second-half player, Clay.
Minute 45 to go.
That 23-point comeback at Southern Illinois for Bradley. Hickman went off.
Larry. Beautiful reverse.
He's got the 3-point shot and the quickness and strength to finish.
Larry's got 8 off the rim. Conwell with the big rebound.
Bradley has taken away the transition baskets from the Sycamores. They're making them play in the half court.
Swope. Right on the money.
His step back is wicked.
Big 3 for Isaiah Swope. He hit 6 of those Wednesday night. He gets his first here and forces a Bradley timeout.
This is Carl. He never really thought much of his credit scores. Well, until he got Credit Karma and used his scores to move on up. By putting in the work to improve his scores, he got access to a better credit card. And that sofa she liked. Ooh, is that Saffron Sunrise? And when it came time to buy a home of his own, Credit Karma helped him.
Game has dropped in 3 of them. He's also got to the rim on this Bradley defense. His step back ankle breaker. Impossible to defend.
3-point success, such a big reason why Indiana State has climbed back into contention the last couple of years in the Missouri Valley Conference. Josh Schertz has brought that approach. You know, to a certain extent, they're going to live and die by their 3-point shooting, and they've been living and living large lately.
School record 343s last season. On pace to shatter that record this season.
Darius Hannah, beautiful left hand, and now Brian Wardle wants another timeout. Actually, Indiana State called that timeout with 36 seconds to go.
We got a 6-second differential now on the shot clock and the game clock, and this is where Josh Schertz usually runs a play that's going to involve Robbie Avila, whether he's going to touch it or set the screen. There are times they will invert, which means they're going to have a small guard screen Avila. We'll see what the mad scientist draws up. Brian Warwick going to set his defense.
Indiana State came into the weekend number 24 in the net rankings. They're the Valley's favorite for an at-large if they don't win the league tournament in St. Louis coming up in March. But yeah, they're not thinking about that right now. They're more worried about, you know, getting their team better every night and being at peak ability so that they can win that league.
This is a big week for them. They've got Bradley here at home, at Belmont, and then the Drake Bulldogs.
Six-second difference between game and shot clock. Swope leans in, left it short, and Kent stepped out of bounds with 7 seconds to go in the half. So now Bradley can get the last shot as Miller comes in for Indiana State. Atlason is going to come back on the floor for Bradley. Hannah's going to sit down.
7 seconds, plenty of time. Three-quarter court pressure by the Sycamores to try to slow them up.
Here's Connor Hickman. No. And that's going to do it for the first half. Indiana State trying to hold on to first place by themselves. And a good first half, 33-29. Isaiah Swope with 9 to lead the Sycamores. Kevin Connors, Dallin Cuff, and John Crispin in our halftime report after this break.
Live sports.
When I found out I was going to be a parent, I immediately felt a lot of anxiety and worry. So I went on to BetterHelp to try to look for a therapist to help me with that.
My relationship with my family and with my boyfriend and with myself were suffering. I really needed help.
I was ruminating a lot. Really getting those thoughts out to a therapist and getting feedback was just life-changing.
At Target, try fast and free drive up. Try fast and always free drive up at Target.
Remember in school when you learn complicated math stuff like sine and cosine and you think, will I ever use this in real life? Well, the answer is no. But a kettlebell squat, well, that's the opposite of whatever cosine is. Knowing the proper way to do a dumbbell row is more useful than knowing the atomic weight of magnesium.
36?
Maybe. And you'll get a lot more out of cardio than you will knowing who ruled after King Tut.
Queen Tut? King Tut Jr.?
Sounds good to me.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
PGA Tour live on ESPN+. From the Pacific to the playoffs, every tournament starts on ESPN+. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. PGA Tour live on ESPN+.
Hockey stars will shine brightest in Toronto.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend, February 2nd and 3rd on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
PGA Tour live. Every tournament starts on ESPN+.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
So, as you pointed out, Atlason's been he's the guy they're leaving open. Even Leon's hadn't done anything.
Introducing Verizon's new Business Unlimited 5G plans, built to give you even more value. Now including more premium hotspot data, Call Filter Plus, and Travel Pass. Now get more of what matters to your business with Verizon.
Hey man, ever since you tried Zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, I feel like you've been a bigger fan of that than the closers.
How could you say that?
Ranch time.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serves by flavor. $5 duo at Burger King. Double up flavors when hunger dings. Whopper Jr. and Royal Crispy Wraps for a lunch, dinner, dinner, or late night snack. BK, have it your way.
At Target, try fast and free drive up. I never knew there was a love like this before. Try fast and always free drive up at Target.
Sometimes it takes a different approach.
Okay, that's Mrs. Johnson, right? Great.
To see the possibilities all around you.
Almost 10. You gonna have a big birthday party? Feeling okay?
With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, you can earn your nursing degree without putting life on hold. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
Tour live on ESPN Plus.
Everybody out on the golf course.
From the Pacific to the playoffs and every hole in between.
Phenomenal stuff. It's pretty cool.
Every tournament starts on ESPN Plus. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. All the energy.
These guys are having fun.
All the personalities.
Think Scotty's into it?
All the unexpected. All season. PGA Tour live on ESPN Plus. Live sports.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
At Target, try fast and free drive up. I never knew there was a love like this before. Try fast and always free drive up at Target.
What's his deal?
Oh, him? He just got cash back shopping with Rakuten.
Oh, I know the feeling. Cash back's where it's at. I just never dance in public.
The 2024 Pro Bowl games. This year's stars show off their best moves in the Skills Show. Plus, the AFC and NFC meet again in flag football. Skills Show February 1st on ESPN. Flag football and more skills February 4th on ESPN and ABC.
Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC. Andrea Carter here. And let me tell you something. It's conference season time, which means it's time to get ESPN Plus. That's where you can find your favorite teams and conferences. So get in the game and stream now.
PGA Tour Live. Every tournament starts on ESPN Plus.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
NHL All-Star Weekend on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus.
The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive articles and tools. Top leagues and tournaments. Best stories in sports. On ESPN Plus. Live sports. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive articles and tools. Top leagues and tournaments. Best starts.
At the Hulman Center in Terre Haute tonight, 33-29 Indiana State leading Bradley at the half. Here's a look at the standings coming into the night. You can see why this game is so important. And Drake in Northern Iowa at the half right now in Des Moines. Drake leading UNI by 2 at the break. Kevin Lehman and myself back here for the second half. Stats and highlights coming up right after this.
Live sports. PGA Tour Live on ESPN Plus. From the Pacific to the playoffs, every tournament starts on ESPN Plus. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. PGA Tour Live on ESPN Plus.
At Target. An always free drive up at Target.
Hockey stars will shine brightest in Toronto.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend, February 2nd and 3rd on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
The 2024 Pro Bowl games. This year's stars show off their best moves in the skill show. Plus, the AFC and NFC meet again in flag football. Touchdown. Skill Show February 1st on ESPN. Flag football and more skills February 4th on ESPN and ABC.
The Australian Open hits different on the networks of ESPN.
PGA Tour Live. Every tournament starts on ESPN Plus.
Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
NHL All-Star Weekend on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus.
Andrea Carter here. And let me tell you something. It's conference season time, which means it's time to get ESPN Plus. That's where you can find your favorite teams and conferences. So get in the game and stream now.
On ESPN Plus. Live sports. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive articles and tools. Top leagues and tournaments. Best stories in sports. On ESPN Plus.
One of the candidates for Valley Player of the Year. Kind of quiet in that first half, but Indiana State leads it by 4 as we get ready to start the second half. He's Kevin Lehman. I'm Clay Matvick. That's what Bradley can do to you defensively. They can shut you down. They have shut down Avila. 33 points. That's a low-scoring first half by the Sycamores standards, but they've got the lead.
Yeah, Bradley's DNA is in defense. They were going to challenge you at the rim, but it's been the other guys outside Avila have scored well for him. Swope, Conwell, Larry have been fantastic in this. And the freshman has stepped up for the Bradley Braves. Almore Atlison, he's found himself open. There's so much focus on Dean. And then Swope got it going late. Got the free ball, got to the rim. He's got 9, and as we mentioned, Atlison averaging 5 a game, has got 10 already here in the first half. And Avi Avila, Clay, he's been neutralized by this defense of Bradley.
Connor Hickman had 19 points for Bradley the last time these two teams played in December in Peoria. He was held to 1 of 7 shooting in the first half.
And Duke Dean, 3 of 8. Between the two of them, they're 4 of 15 from the field. Those two have to get going for Bradley to score enough points to outdistance this Indiana State team.
Now, Connor Hickman had that left ankle injury with 5 minutes left against Indiana State in December. Put a real damper on the comeback attempt as Indiana State won that game. If they can get the sweep here of Bradley, get them behind them, that would be huge for Indiana State. They would continue to have a stranglehold on, I wouldn't say a stranglehold, that'd be too aggressive, but a clean hold on first place in the Missouri Valley Conference after the weekend.
And you mentioned halftime, UNI down 2 at Drake. They're without Bowen Bourne, who didn't make the trip because of an illness. So this is a chance for Indiana State, a little distance between themselves and these other teams.
Julian Larry will take the first field goal attempt of the second half, and he draws iron. Larry had 8 in the first half.
Bradley's ability to neutralize Robbie Avila in the first half. Hannah and with Thomas.
He tried to get it inside to Leons. He has to scramble to get it back. Nice adjustment. Off balance, got it off the window and down.
Able to split the defender. Leons has to step up. They're taking the guards out of this game.
Leons averages 13. He's got 7. And Jason Kent, he had 9 rebounds in the first half. He's on pace for another double-double as he's got 8 points now.
He's the guy we don't talk about much. We talk about Swope, we talk about Conwell, we talk about Avila. Avila's first assist.
That's a good sign for Bradley. Dean hits from outside the arc.
Watch out for Dean now. If he gets it going, that creates some offense. It'll open up the inside for the Braves.
He's got 10 now. He's in double figures.
There's the mismatch. Avila with the read. There's the chain.
Julian Larry, his second 3.
That's why it's so difficult to double team Robbie Avila. His ability to read the defense, spray that ball out, and get you open threes. Yes.
Answering right back is Dean.
Mentioned 2 games ago, Dean with 7 triples in that big win over Belmont. He can heat it up.
Back and forth we go. Lead is 1 for the Sycamores. Larry gets in deep, rolls off. Kent, beautiful tip in.
Kent, the forgotten man. They don't block him out. He's been getting to the glass, and there's Dean again with the explosion.
Duke Dean, he's 5'8", but he packs a punch. I mean, he's just a keg of dynamite.
When Hickman went out with the injury.
Oh, mercy.
My.
Jason Kent with the tomahawk dunk right over the Defensive Player of the Year last year in Malabai Leons.
Over his old teammate.
And now Hannah with the runner.
Set up by the penetration of Dean. A little more offense here in the second half. These teams have loosened up, made adjustments at halftime.
And Larry is fouled. Man, can you tell first place is on the line tonight?
Here's my candidate, one of my candidates for most improved player in the Valley. Out of the clouds. Punch that one through.
Jason Kent officially with his third double-double in the last 5 games. He's got 12 points to go along with 10 boards.
A little stare down of his old teammate, Leons, as you mentioned, Defensive Player of the Year, got dunked on.
Avila had his pocket picked inside, but it's last touch by Bradley.
We see Josh Schertz at halftime made the adjustments. He's moving Robbie Avila around, forcing more mismatches, and now you've got Dean on him again. What's he going to do?
Swope. Kent try to keep it alive, tapped it back toward his bench, but Swope had already started his transition back down court. So Bradley will get it back down 1. Under 17 minutes to go.
Kent is so active. His ability to crash to the rim, offensive rebounds, or keep it alive.
Hickman 1 of 7, stripped by Avila. We'll stay with Bradley. You know, 2 players in this game, Kevin, we're still waiting to really come alive. Avila for Indiana State, Hickman for Bradley.
The defense has been outstanding in those 2. They're forcing Hickman to turn the corner, go to the top of the screens. But Avila, they tried not to switch.
Dean, man, he's just on fire. Hits again from the baseline.
When Hickman was out with the injury, Duke Dean's game grew tremendously.
He's got 10 here in the second half. Step back, Swope. Off the front iron, Hannah with a strong rebound as he boxes out Avila. Dean's just taking matters into his own hands. Draws the contact from Swope. That's going to be his first foul.
Dean understands what they're doing to him defensively. They're going to the top of the screen so he can get to the mid-range. There's a little shove off, step back, gives Swope a taste of his own medicine with that step back. And this last trip, he's able to get Swope on his hip.
I don't mean this flippantly, Kevin, but he's got such great vision despite the situation that he had to grow up with.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Duke Dean. He has 50% loss of vision in his left eye, was born with it. Has not affected his ability to shoot the 3-ball.
Bradley by 2. This would be a monumental win on the road as they try to repeat as Valley regular season champs. Backing in, Avila, there's the basket he was looking for. His first points of the second half, his second basket of the game, and we're tied up.
Made the quick move on Hannah. He realized now that Hannah's not going to jump to block the shot, so go up quick over the top of the outstretched arms. These Bradley defenders have been saying, stay on your feet with Avila.
Man, he can't miss. He's got 14 here in the second half. Duke Dean taking this game over for Bradley. $15 minutes to go.
Good communication to avoid the switch.
And now Hannah called with the foul. We step aside here in the Missouri Valley Conference. What a game in Terre Haute.
Duke Dean's been heating up. He's 4 of 4 from distance for the Braves. He's led the charge back here in the second half.
Live sports. PGA Tour live on ESPN Plus. From the Pacific to the playoffs, every tournament starts on ESPN Plus. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. PGA Tour live on ESPN Plus.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend is right here in Toronto.
home of the CN Tower, standing taller than these guys in net.
Unbelievable. Spectacular save.
With cuisine tastier than moves like these.
It's not real.
If you show your best this weekend, you might end up here.
That's hockey, baby.
So welcome to Toronto.
The 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend, February.
It's 10 feet. One shot makes you a soup for 24 hours.
Waiting for the break of day. Getting up to splash my face. Wanting just to stay away. Should I try to do so?
Second half, 14 points. He's 5 or 5 from the field. The Duke with the push-off, splashes that one through. Hand in his face, no problem, says Duke Dean. He lets the bench know. Can't stop me now.
So, you know, when Connor Hickman was dealing with his injury, that meant Duke Dean needed to elevate his game. He did that. Connor Hickman has effectively been shut out of this game by the Indiana State defense. And again, we're seeing Dean elevate his game, and Bradley now with a 3-point lead with under 15 to go.
Had to carry the load when Hickman was out for that stretch of games. There's the switch inside.
Conwell goes down to Avila.
Josh Schertz, ATO, after timeout coach, draws him up better than anyone. Got the switch, Hickman on Avila over the top, easy 2 for the Sycamores.
Avila watching Leons now, Malavai Leons, the long reach of that Dutchman. Got the hook shot off, but it was strong. Chance for Indiana State to go back in front. Here's Conwell, yes! And he's fouled. That is the second time that Bradley has fouled the 3-point shooter.
Transition, you have to stay attached and find him, and that was the second time that foul was committed by the Braves. Christian Davis fouled a 3-point shooter.
Now, as the former coach, Kevin, one of your players does that. What do you say to him?
Don't leave your feet on 3-point shooters. Tough with this crew because they can shoot it. The trees, it's threes for the trees.
Bang, Leons. Boy, that was a cold-blooded shot from the top to silence the crowd, and we're tied at 50.
A little bit of their own medicine, the pick and pop.
Beautiful pass. Larry and Avila draws the contact. He'll go to the foul line for the first time tonight.
Josh Schertz has moved number 21 around, getting better matchups and mismatches for Robbie Avila. You're seeing more production here in the second half.
Well, tonight at 10 Eastern on ESPN and the app, our X Games coverage continues from Aspen. We're going to have the men's snowboard and men's ski knuckle huck. You're a skier. Can you tell me what that is?
For me?
No, just
it's
what
when
is
I wipe out and scrape my knuckles out.
Oh, okay. They didn't say knucklehead, knuckle huck.
For those guys, I have no idea, Clay.
Leaders 2 for Indiana State.
Julian Larry has been outstanding on Hickman.
Still, Hickman able to get that shot away in the paint and scores.
Upper body strength, able to finish with contact. Connor Hickman.
Just his second field goal of the game. He's got 4 points on 2 of 8.
Okay, no double coming. Watch this move.
Avila over Atlason. Missed the shot. Leons doing what Leons does, and that's get the rebound. And he's fouled by Kent.
They're trying to get Hickman going over the top of the screens. Larry gets caught, goes underneath. Hickman with that upper body strength. He benches 315 pounds. I didn't make that up. He benches 315. There's that power at the rim.
And he only weighs 200. That's impressive. Here he rises up for a line drive three, right on the money.
Here he comes. He is a second half player.
He's kind of played all year with a chip on his shoulder. Didn't get any preseason recognition from the Missouri Valley. A lot of people in Peoria thought he should.
The freshman won the battle last time, but not this time.
Avila, the basket and one.
They like this matchup. Atlason won it the first time. Watch how slow and precise Robbie Avila sets him up, leans on that left shoulder, then spins back over the right. The upper body strength. Here's a great thing about Robbie Avila. He plays below the rim, but he's so strong, soft hands, a great feel for the game.
Tied again. Robbie Avila in double figures with 11. And Almar Atlason, number 1 in red, now playing with 3 personals. Hickman drives, got it, and one for Connor Hickman.
Great adjustments at halftime by Brian Wardle with his guards, because they know they're going to go over the top of the screens. Therefore, Hickman says, I got a lane to the basket. Using that strength again. Shoots it off the wrong foot. Soft touch. The smooch off the window.
So Avila just picked up his second. Atlason is going to sit down with the 3 fouls as Wardle gets him to the bench.
Hannah back on Robbie Avila as Atlason was starting to lose the battle inside.
Larry driving. Kent to tie it. Yes!
How good is he? Jason Kent. What a game.
Again, sticking it to his former team. Played a couple of years at Bradley. Now Dean, who's had a tremendous second half. Hasn't missed here in the second half.
First half a little slow. Great adjustments by both coaches. Much more success and offense here in the second half. Better ball movement by both teams.
Dean now with 23 points. Avila with 10 on the shot clock. Kind of forced that one up. Good defense by Bradley.
Darius Hannah's length is a problem for Robbie Avila because he will not bite on those head fakes. Can use his length and make Robbie try to score over the top. Whoa, whoa,
Dean,
whoa.
Are you kidding? He's unconscious.
Big time heat check. The defenders go over the top of the screen. Dean taking advantage.
That's his 5th 3. And answering right back is Ryan Conwell. Take that, he says.
This is the game that we expected to see. Slow first half. Both teams have heated up in the second half.
Backdoor cut. Last touch by Birch. Indiana State ball.
Little guy with a big ticker. He wears number 21. He has got 26. Hesitation, the floater. How about that pull-up triple?
All right.
I avoided credit cards most of my life, but when I started to create a streaming platform for musicians like me, I knew it was important to build my credit to set my business up right. I heard about the Chime Credit Builder card and I signed up right away. I didn't have to worry about fees, interest, or credit checks. Within a month, my score went up. Now it's up over 100 points. I feel set up for success, and so is my business. I tell everybody about the Chime Credit Builder Card. Here we go. Check it out at chime.com.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Popeye's Big Box is back until February 11th. Getting all this for $6.99 doesn't make sense, but adding a fancy strawberry biscuit sure does.
Am I just a basic biscuit?
Live a little. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. The 2024 Pro Bowl games. This year's stars show off their best moves in the skill show. Plus, the AFC and NFC meet again in flag football. Touchdown. Skill Show February 1st on ESPN. Flag football and more skills February 4th on ESPN and ABC.
The competition's never been better.
Have you never let a woman do that?
The stars have never been brighter.
David Carr, 3,000 career points. Come on, Cameron Brink. Deja Kelly.
Oh, that was pretty. Amor magic. Some brewing.
Bradley coming into the Hulman Center tonight knowing that a win would give them a share of first place. And Duke Dean and Connor Hickman, their two stars, have really come alive here since halftime, Kevin.
Great adjustments at halftime. They know that Indiana State trying to go to the top of the screens. Hickman's been turned the corner, getting to the rim. Duke Dean's finding enough room to get that three ball off. He's a perfect 7 of 7 in the second half for Duke Dean.
Unbelievable. As a team, Bradley has missed one shot, 13 of 14, 93% from the floor. And
Duke.
Brian Wardle, you know, just had a moment with his team. So did Josh Schertz. What's going to decide this game as we're at the halfway point, basically, of the second half?
Who can make stops? Because this first half was defense. The second half has been all about offense, as both coaches made fantastic adjustments at halftime to open up these offenses.
Wide open Avila. The big man can hit from out there. Came a little short that time. Dean with the rebound.
And here's what helps Bradley. When they score points, it allows them to set their defense. They've taken away Indiana State's transition game.
Look at the confidence in Dean. Davis, they're going to wave it off. Foul underneath. That's going to go against Hannah.
Hannah came over the back, got a piece of Avila.
And that's the third on Hannah, so two players with 3 fouls for Bradley, Adlison and Hannah.
Avila with a good block out. See if they try to ISO probably Avila again.
That was tipped into the backcourt by Davis. Still 10 on the shot clock for the Sycamores. Conwell gets it back to the point guard, Larry. 5 to shoot. Splits the defense. And got it in one. Man, Julian Larry, when he makes up his mind to go downhill, it's like trying to stop a running back.
This is a great read. Splits the defenders, the burst and the strength to finish. Right on Leon's. But the read of the defender on Robbie Avila's ball screen and Larry's explosion to split through the defenders.
14 for Julian Larry. Indiana State back in front by a point in their sellout crowd. Starting to roar back to life. Turnover. Swope pulls up. Kent kept it alive. Conwell.
Set up by the great pass by Julian Larry.
And Brian Wardle wants a timeout. It's an 8-0 run for the Trees at home. Missouri Valley showdown between Bradley and first place Indiana State. Both teams shooting a great percentage here in the second half. How about the save off the air ball by Jason Kent to salvage the possession?
And then Larry with the quick kick out. Conwell at the basket. Sycamores had 3 assists the first half. They've got 10 in the second half, Clay. They have clicking. That's why the big run.
8-0 run. Indiana State back in front by 3. 8.5 to go. Leon's attacks and the two-hand jam by the big Flying Dutchman.
Little on big screen. Leon takes it right to the rack.
Larry lost his dribble. Conwell for 3. The southpaw ringing the bell.
You cannot recover to him late. He will light you up. Christian Davis peeked inside.
4-3 for Conwell. He's got half of Indiana State's triples. Leon's backing down Avila, and he got it.
Leon's trying to attack Avila, get him in foul problems.
Avila playing with 2 fouls.
Trying to get the switch.
Avila off balance after the bump, but he got it to go.
The ability to move from his right hand to his left hand. The feathery touch over the front of the rim.
13 points for Avila. 4 players in double figures for Indiana State. Swope is close with 9.
Avila with 2 in the first half.
Indiana State has received 0 production point-wise from its bench. Hickman draws iron. 4-point lead for Indiana State. Their largest lead in this game has been 6. In and out for Conwell. 7 minutes to go.
Indiana State now switching the perimeter screens. After Dean heated up, that was the change they made defensively.
Leon's looking for help. Falling back, no, and Kent with another rebound. He's got a dozen of those.
Avila looking at the bench, looking for the call from Schertz.
Swope the kick. Kent keeps it alive again. Boy, that's a backbreaker for Bradley.
Well, the penetration is causing rotation on the defense. It's allowing Kent to work the offensive glass. There's the mismatch they want.
Avila, boy, pretty good defense there by Davis as he held his ground on the big man. And now Dean with 19 here in the second half. Leons didn't follow his shot. Easy rebound for Isaiah Swope.
And Julian Larry is now going below the screens on Duke Dean, allowing him not to turn the corner.
In for Swope. That spun around the rim twice before it went down.
You can just feel the Sycamores offense is cooking.
Isaiah Swope now in double figures as well.
3 assists in the first half. They're passing the pill. Larry with a kick out. Swope rattles that one home from the left corner.
When you get your next big idea, say sparkly ketchup, Grammarly's tone suggestions can help pitch it with confidence to get your team on board.
Did you see her email?
Already calling vendors.
Oh no, a project hiccup.
We need a squeezy bottle.
Good idea. With a more diplomatic approach, your request will get a better response. Problem solved. Grammarly can make all the difference in your professional success. Download at Grammarly.com today.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois.
Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
Popeye's Big Box is back until February 11th. Getting all this for $6.99 doesn't make sense, but adding a fancy strawberry biscuit sure does.
Am I just a basic biscuit?
Live a little. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Fast and always free drive up at Target.
Live.
Well, it was announced this week that the Missouri Valley tournament, known as Arch Madness, is going to remain in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center through at least 2028. It's been the host site for 3 decades. Only the Big East has been in one spot longer, 42 years at Madison Square Garden. Thomas and Mack Center in Vegas has hosted the Mountain West for 18 years, but that's great for the Valley. It's such a great site for this conference and that tournament, and hopefully the tournament is as exciting as this game is turning out to be.
They have an option to extend that. Could be 40 years through 2030. And the Valley celebrating their 117th year. This is the second oldest league in the country, second only to the Big Ten.
Duke Dean, 26 points. All but 7 of those coming here in the second half. Hannah got it with the left hand. Darius Hannah keeping Bradley within striking distance late.
Good play. Misdirection, but it basically was an ISO play for Hannah. Right down the funnel on Robbie Avila. And a little full court pressure and some zone for the first time from the Braves.
All of the starters in double figures for Indiana State. That doesn't go for Conwell. Big opportunity here for the Braves. Under 5 to go.
Now, if you're Brian Worley, you're holding your breath in that zone. So many three-point shooters for the Sycamores.
Dean, step back. Kent with another rebound. He's got 14 rebounds to go along with 15 points.
Julian Larry right in front of us. He looks gassed from chasing Duke Dean around.
We knew that this was going to be a struggle, a test of wills for both of these teams, and it has as Connor Hickman comes back on the floor. Hickman has been kind of streaky in this game. They really shut him down in the first half. Better here in the second half.
And remember the Sycamores, they've only played 5 players through most of this game.
Well, now Robbie Avila says, hey, Hannah pushed me out. That's what Josh Schertz is saying. This is going to be an Indiana State turnover. What do you think?
Bad call. Robbie Evans got a good case. The official once told me, if I didn't call it, it didn't happen. Said ISO again.
Hannah,
they're
same
attacking,
result.
They're attacking Robbie Avila right down the lane. Down the chute. They're going to go three-quarter court pressure back to zone again. Many times the coach, you play zone until they hit the 3 on you.
Both teams have hit 9 threes in this game. Indiana State 9 of 26. They average 12 per game. And that's going to be a foul called on Hannah. He doesn't like it. We step aside. It's crunch time in the Missouri Valley. Indiana State leading Bradley by 3.
I'm changing it up. It's a new era now. I be changing it up. Listen.
says you can't get everything you want? Like going for bold without going broke. And staying true to your taste while staying on budget. Who says rising costs means lowering the bar? Settling? No need. Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
I avoided credit cards most of my life, but when I started to create a streaming platform for musicians like me, I knew it was important to build my credit to set my business up right. I heard about the Chime Credit Builder card and I signed up right away. I didn't have to worry about fees, interest, or credit checks. Within a month, my score went up. Now it's up over 100 points. I feel set up for success, and so is my business. I tell everybody about the Chime Credit Builder card. Here we go. Check it out at chime.com.
Bold, juicy, beefy, grilled. There's a lot of ways to describe the flame-grilled flavor of Burger King. But one thing's for certain, it's not the same without the flame.
The 2024 Pro Bowl games. This year's stars show off their best moves in the skill show. Plus, the AFC and NFC meet again in flag football. Touchdown. Skill Show February 1st on ESPN. Flag football and more skills February 4th on ESPN and ABC.
This is as we reach the halfway point of the Valley regular season schedule tonight. Top 4 teams in the Valley all on the court right now. Drake is hosting UNI in Des Moines. And Kevin, that one's close, nip and tuck.
Drake up by a digit, 57-56. Tucker DeVries has knocked in 22. And UNI playing without Bowen Bourne, stayed home with an illness. Trey Campbell lighting up for the Panthers with 18. As you said, this is a big, you got the top 4 teams going head-to-head. Could be separation Saturday, or it could tighten it up even more, Clay.
This is the second year of the 20-game schedule in the Missouri Valley Conference. It's a grind, but every game so exciting. As Ryan Conwell steps to the line for the Sycamores, and he drains the free throw. Has another one coming.
And Indiana State, the trip to Belmont at midweek, and then the Bulldogs of Drake, the only team that handed them a loss, comes to the Hulman Center a week from today.
Yeah, you and I are going to be here. Oh, for that one, it's on ESPN2 next week. Full court pressure here, and now it sags off. Bradley down 5 with 3.5 to go. The lead has never been bigger than 7 for either team.
They like this matchup. Hannah on Avila.
Left it short. Avila with the big rebound.
Oh, it went to his right hand. Hannah did. Came up short. Atlason now on Avila.
Measured pace now for Indiana State as Larry basically running the offense like a quarterback with 8 on the shot clock.
Avila, he's calling for it. He wants it.
Atlason. Good defense. Off-balance shot.
Now Bradley has to generate some offense.
Connor Hickman, 4 of 11, shooting 10 points. Started cold. And that's a reach-in foul on Jason Kent, who's been dynamite in this ballgame.
Indiana State now switching 1 through 4 on the perimeter. It is slowed down Dean and Hickman. They've not been able to turn the corner. Dean has not been able to get those open looks from the 3. There's the switch again.
And Larry called for the foul. And that is the 6th team foul on Indiana State, so Bradley will be at the line the rest of the way.
Josh Schertz arguing that call. Larry trying to get over the top of the screen by Darius Hannah.
Hickman, yes! 3-pointer Connor Hickman.
Julian Larry got hung up just enough on that screen because he got a foul called the last time. That's all the room that Hickman needed. The rhythm 3.
Timeout, 1:54 to go. And don't forget, coming up later tonight over on ESPN, the Crimson Tide coming off a top 25 upset of Auburn. They're back home at the Coleman Coliseum, 8 Eastern on ESPN, taking on LSU. Kevin Lehman, Clay Matvick here in Terre Haute, Indiana. Now the officials have gone to the monitor to make sure that that basket that Connor Hickman hit just moments ago is actually a 3.
Let's see a look right here. See his right toe.
That might be a 2, Kev.
It looked like he got a piece of that paint. Now they have enough evidence to overturn this, Clay. From the view we had, that's difficult to see if they have a shot from a different angle. It's a 3.
It is a 3 for Connor Hickman. So he's got 13 points. That's his second 3. And Bradley's within 2. Indiana State with the ball. They are 8-0 at home. 4-0 on neutral floors this year. All 3 of the losses for Indiana State, Kevin, have come on the road. At Alabama, who we just talked about, at Michigan State, at Drake. They don't have a bad loss.
They do not have a bad loss. Now, this possession is huge. 154. You've got about 4 to 5 possessions left. Josh Schertz excels in these situations. But Bradley's, they're going to stay in the zone.
Avila shot fake. Gets it back to Larry. 10 to shoot. Plenty of time. Big possession here for the Sycamores. Avila and Atlason. Strong. Hannah with the rebound.
Again, the freshman Atlason won the battle one-on-one with Avila.
The 6'8" defender against the 6'10" center. And it goes to the Icelander. Leons finishes. What a move. And we're tied.
Euro step from the Dutchman.
Tied at 76.
Going to stay in the zone. This has taken Indiana State out of rhythm. They can't do their mismatches.
Avila dribbled it off his ankle. Dean in transition to Hannah.
Hannah, the rim runner. Dean with the delivery.
Timeout, 47 seconds to go. Bradley takes a 2-point lead.
And Brian Worrell said, we're not going to use the zone, but it's been good to him. There's Leons. The Euro move inside. The rim runner, Hannah, punches it through. Braves are up by a deuce.
Some great coaching here by Brian Wardle, the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year last year. Down the stretch, he has made some critical adjustments.
The three-quarter court pressure took Indiana State out of the rhythm. They were getting mismatches in the man-to-man. And Wardle told us today, I said, Coach, any of your 3-2 zone, because they shoot it too well. He came to it late. It's been successful for him, Clay. Will he stay with it on this possession?
Bradley, 18 fouls, so Indiana State is in the bonus.
Now, if you're Josh Schertz, you've got to draw up 2 plays. One against the zone, and one if it's man-to-man, because he's not sure what Wardle's going to do on this possession defensively. Or you should have a play that you can run against both defenses to eliminate any confusion.
They're making a clock adjustment. They're adding a couple of seconds. That's what we're being told. Winner is in first place. If it's Indiana State, the Sycamores will be in first all alone. Bradley can get a piece of it with a win here, a big one on the road, and make up for the loss in Peoria to the Sycamores back on December the 2nd. A game that they nearly came back and won after trailing by 19 in the second half.
Clay, you talked about it earlier. This is a team in Bradley, the hottest in the league right now. They have won 9 in a row since the return of Connor Hickman. Dean with a big spurt. Hickman able to get to the rim. And then of late, it's been Leon's. And their transition basket by Hannah was huge.
So Indiana State is going to inbound from the three-quarter court with Conwell.
Now you've got to go man-to-man in this possession. You can't give up a 3 out of the zone.
.45 seconds to go.
And Leon's on Avila. We knew this was going to happen late in the game. They want that matchup. They got the switch.
Swope. Probing. Kent kept it alive. Got fouled. Jason Kent, how many possessions has he been able to salvage in this game?
But he plays like he has 3 arms. He's everywhere in the passing lanes, on the offensive glass. Kent has been spectacular against his old team. 15 points and 14 rebounds for Jason Kent.
So Jason Kent is going to go to the line to shoot 2, an 81% foul shooter. A chance to tie this game up. And the shot clock, Kevin, will be off for the rest of regulation. As Davis sits down, Atlason comes back into the game for Bradley. And what a game he's had. Tied up.
Okay, pressure from Indiana State. Got to run this down for the last shot.
They put it in the hands of Duke Dean, and he wants a timeout. Brian Wardle using his last timeout. 23 seconds to go.
They have done isos here with Leons in the middle of the lane and let him go one-on-one on the logo. But Dean has had the hot hand. I would look for Leons to get it.
Duke Dean, such a great second half. The senior from Shreveport, Louisiana, had 7 at halftime, 19 points since the break.
Had a flurry of points to bring Bradley back in that 4-point deficit at halftime.
He's only missed 2 shots in the second half. I mean, he came out like a house of fire after halftime.
Well, you're going to have Swope and Larry locked on these 2 guards, Dean and Hickman. They've been switching here in the second half, late in the second half, to take away their looks. But we've seen Wardle of late go to Leons on a switch and get Avila on him and let him attack the basket.
Coming up, Tulsa and Rice as soon as we're done here in Terre Haute. It's amazing. Indiana State has received 0 points from the bench, but all 5 starters in double figures. Conwell leading the way with 22. All of the starters for Bradley in double figures tonight. Only 2 points from the Bradley bench. It has been the stars shining brightly for both teams in this one. Here we go. Connor Hickman with it. Watched by Larry. Hickman a long way from the hoop. 10 to play. Larry takes it away. And he's fouled. I'm going to say a foul at half court on Connor Hickman. Oh, they're calling it on Larry.
On Larry. Left hand stuck it in there. Had the foul to give.
Hannah throws it up. Oh, we're going to overtime. Chaotic at the end. This one will be decided in overtime. 78 apiece. Back in a moment.
Are you comfortable? Absurdly comfortable. At Bombas, we're obsessed with comfort, quality, movement. Socks, tees, underwear. Because your basic things should be your best things. As always, one purchased equals one donated. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
This is Carl. He never really thought much of his credit scores. Well, until he got credit.
In for maybe the game-winning dunk.
Well, they had a foul to give, and then there's the last shot attempt by Hannah, and Swope with the heave that got a piece of the backboard.
Duke Dean, a great second half. Robbie Avila has played well here in the second half. We've had 12 ties, 10 lead changes, and we're tied again going to overtime. Bradley 2-0 in overtime this year. Indiana State playing in OT for the first time. It's a 9-game winning streak for Bradley. And Indiana State has won 4 in a row. What's going to be the difference here in the extra session?
Can Duke Dean and Hickman get going again for the Bradley Braves? They had that big spurt in the middle of the second half. The zone was really good for Bradley. Indiana State, they got to play through their big man, Robbie Avila. Get him some touches. Can they get the mismatches and play through number 21 in the powder blue?
Julian Larry has 4 fouls. No one else on the floor has more than 3. Bradley has the first possession. Hickman passes it to Hannah. Kent with his 15th rebound of the night.
Avila with a good challenge at the rim on Hannah. Well, Bradley switching those perimeter screens. There's the freshman again on Avila.
And Atlason with his 4th.
They let that battle go on through the first half and second half and blew the whistle here on Atlason.
Robbie Avila having a good second half. He's perfect at the foul line tonight. 79% free throw shooter. He's 4 for 4. So Atlason's going to come out. Christian Davis coming back in, the junior out of Denver, back on the floor for the Braves.
We'll see if that puts Hannah back on Avila.
Robbie got them both. Duke Dean was unconscious to start the second half. Indiana State has kept him in check better in recent trips down the floor.
They've switched the screens on the perimeter, allow him not to get loose on those threes.
Hickman has it stripped again. This time, Larry is not called for the foul.
Gutsy play by Larry with 4 fouls.
And now Josh Schertz, a couple of steps out onto the floor to get instructions to Isaiah Swope. Overtime here in the Valley.
The switch with Leons.
Swope, oh my!
Cold-blooded.
His 3rd 3, second of the half. that's going to be 5 on Julian Larry. What a game for him. He's going to lead with 14 points, 6 assists.
And his defense was outstanding on Hickman, especially in the first half. Now, we talked about the short bench of Indiana State. Xavier Bledson going to enter the game.
Bledson came with Josh Schertz from Division II Lincoln Memorial. He's been a kind of a foundational piece for the coach.
He's the guy that Josh Schertz says, you can't come with me, you're not good enough to play Division I. And Josh Schertz took him anyway. And Jabo, as they call him, proved that he's a Division I player.
Dean got it.
But now with Julian Larry out, Clay, Indiana State cannot put the same pressure on the perimeter. Hickman and Duke Dean, Leons, without Larry on the court.
Duke got them both.
It's going to put Conwell on one of those guards, probably on Hickman.
28 for Duke Dean. 3-point game.
Okay, see if they go back to the zone now with Larry on the bench. Larry shoots it from the 3 over 50%. He is out of this game.
Jason Kent wide open in the corner.
And they're going to stay in zone. They're matching.
Avila penetrates, trying to get it to Kent, who is streaking on the baseline, and it's broken up by Hannah.
Avila has turned over twice, trying to penetrate from the high post against the zone.
Dean, another 3.
Well, Larry's out of the game. Conwell on Dean. Dean creates some space. Big time shot.
He's 6 for 7 from outside the arc. Now Swope. Avila deep triple. Yes!
Hickman tardy on the recovery. Gave him too much space.
And all of the fans here, some 9,000 of them, most of them wearing glasses that look like Robbie's, come to their feet.
Again, Conwell on Hickman with Larry on the bench.
Dean, not this time.
That one was forced.
Avila able to clear the miss. Bledson, yes!
Comes off the bench cold. Xavier Bledson.
Brian Wardle wants a timeout. Hey, I'd say he's good enough for Division I.
He sat almost the entire second half. Hickman gets late on the recovery, gives Avila, who shoots it 42% from 3, too much room. Cold off the bench, that is cold-blooded. It's the trees knocking in 3s.
First bench points of the night for Indiana State, and maybe the biggest basket of the game right now. Xavier Bledson, the redshirt senior from Gainesville, Georgia.
His last 3 games, he's been 1 of 5 from 3. They call him Jabo. Xavier Bledson. Huge basket.
Now this game's a long way from over, Kevin. Bradley has possession. There's still 1:47 to go. But they're out of timeouts now. And what is Brian Wardle talking about with his Braves?
He's got to attack inside now. Can you get fouled and score from the free throw line? And you've got Duke Dean still red hot from inside, but outside you got to play some inside outside. And then you have to press, Clay. Score or not score, you must put pressure on Indiana State. And remember, their main ball handler, Julian Larry, on the bench with 5 fouls.
We talked about it earlier, how the Sycamores, since Josh Schertz has come to town, have made the 3-point basket the foundation of their program. And coming into the night, averaging about 12 made threes per game. Best in the country. Well, it took them overtime to get there. That was their 12th made three, but they are 3 for 3 from outside the arc here in overtime. In crunch time, hitting the critical three-point baskets.
And it's come from two sources that were quiet, Xavier Bledson and Robbie Avila. And also in the second half, they have now had 18 assists. They're averaging 17 a game. The ball movement was so much crisper for Indiana State in the second half as Josh Schertz made some adjustments.
Remember, Julian Larry has fouled out for Indiana State. Lead is 6, 1:40 to go. Bradley has it. Leons for 3, and he hits.
That was a set play. Hickman faked the screen and pinned in Leons' man.
Now Conwell having a hard time. They break the press.
There's the Portman Storm, number 21.
So good at handling passes.
They're going to go zone again. And now they're moving Bledson in the middle.
Swope, what a reverse. Went from his right hand to his left and finished.
He looked off the defense like he was going to throw it to the corner to Avila and finished in traffic.
Under a minute. Hickman. Conwell with a great save. Isaiah Swope, and it's a 7-point lead.
Blew by 2 red jerseys.
Blocked. Bledson's going to pull it out, and he's going to get fouled. And now the Indiana State fans can feel it. The Sycamores have outscored Bradley here in overtime, 16-8.
Led by Bledson off the bench, 80% free throw shooter. Swope getting to the rim and finishing with his left hand. Got to have threes. Twos won't do it.
And Hickman is fouled. We talked about it with Josh Schertz at the shoot-around today, Kevin. What a big 3-game stretch that Indiana State is in, starting with this one here against Bradley tonight. They're going to go to Nashville to take on the Belmont Bruins on Wednesday. That will not be easy. Then back here at the Hulman Center to take on the Drake Bulldogs next Saturday on ESPN2. By the way, it has gone final in Des Moines. Drake has defeated Northern Iowa 77-63. So that is going to be potentially a battle for first place again next Saturday between Indiana State and Drake.
Yeah, Drake has a game in between, as does Indiana State. As you mentioned, they have to go to Belmont with Malik Dia and Kay Tyson, a tough place to win. But you've got to get road wins if you're going to win this league. Bradley with a valiant effort. Outstanding second half. But the overtime was all Indiana State.
Bledson's got it. And that's going to do it. Bradley's going to sag off. What a win. Great win in overtime for Indiana State. They will go to 9-1 and stand alone in first place in the Missouri Valley Conference at the halfway point of the regular season, Kevin.
Xavier Bledson with a huge triple down the stretch in overtime for the Sycamores. Jason Kent, outstanding. 17 points, 16 rebounds for Kent as he was all over the glass.
And you can see after Drake wins tonight over Northern Iowa, they're a game back at 8-2. And Bradley still very much in the thick of it in the MVC at the halfway point. What a great night. 95-86 in overtime. Indiana State over Bradley. For Kevin Lehman, I'm Clay Matvick. Coming up next, Tulsa and Rice. So long from Terre Haute.
This is Cassie. She never really paid attention to her credit scores until she got Credit Karma and used her scores to score more, like her first ride. When it was time to upgrade, she shopped around for a lower auto insurance rate to go with it. Even when she decided to blaze a new